Okay, we are back to Sefer Yehoshuah. We are up to Yud Bet, Perek Yud Bet, page 60 in the blue ones. Yes. Okay, so far we had that they captured the Melachim of South, and then the Melachim of North, they got together to go and attack Ben Israel. They also attacked, killed all the Melachim and all the soldiers. So now, in this perek, we're going to go through the names, even though we just mentioned the names of the 5 kings we just captured. So, perek starts with Elle Malchei Haaretz Asher Hiku Bnei Israel Veyarshu Et Arsam Be'ever Hayarden. Okay, so first it starts with Ever Hayarden, which Yehoshuah didn't even do it. Who did it? Moshe. So it starts with Ever Hayarden. These are the name of the kings that the Bnei Israel hit, and they captured the land in Ever Hayarden, Mizracha in the east, Mizracha Shemesh, east side of the sun. Min Nachal Arnon Val Har Hermon, right? And from the river of Arnon until month of Hermon, Bechor Araba Mizracha, and all the valley which in the east. Sichon Melech HaAmori Hayoshev Becheshbon, right? Sichon, the king of Amori that lived in Cheshbon. Moshe Ma'aroer Asher al Sefad Nachal Arnon, that he was ruling from Aroer until the edge of the river of Arnon. V'toch HaNahal V'chatzi HaGil'ad, and within the river and Chatzi HaGil'ad, half of the Gil'ad. These are all the lands that Ben Israel took from them. Ad Yabok HaNachal Gevul Bnei Ammon, until Yabok HaNachal, which is the name of a place, which is the border of Bnei Ammon. Remember, Hashem commanded Moshe, do not touch Bnei Ammon, right? Because of Lot. Wow, it's a whole big, yeah.
You want to show it to the camera?
Here's the map.
Gray is...
You see the map? Okay, great. That was Sichon. Now we go to the gray. The gray is actually Og, right?
Yeah.
The white.
Sichon, no. Ammon, Sichon.
No, Sichon, okay, yeah. Sichon, the gray on the
Bottom.
The bottom part. That was Sichon. Okay. Now we're going to go to, one second. V'haraba, okay. V'haraba, Pasuk Gimel. V'haraba ad Yam, and the plain, the valleys, until the Yam Kinneret, until the Yam Kinneret, Mizracha, which is in the east. V'ad Yam Harava, Yam HaMelech, until the western sea, which is Yam HaMelech. Mizracha derech Beit HaYeshimot, to the east of derech the road of Beit HaYeshimot. Umeteman Tachad Ashdod HaPiska, and from the south and under Ashdod HaPiska. Okay, so those are all the lands that we got from Sichon. Now we go to Og. Ugvul Og, the borders of the Og, Melech HaBashan. So, very interesting. I heard Midrash that said Sichon and Og were brothers. It's a very difficult to understand because we know that Og was
the giant.
Og was the giant, and we're learning this week's parsha is Va'atar Noach. So Og was one of the giants that hung himself from the boat, right? And survived. Same person. He lived very young, very, very long.
Hashem
years.
gave him a long
Right.
life because he was trying to save Lot, or what did he do that Hashem gave him a long
He
life?
came to Abraham. He
Yeah.
came to Abraham and told
Informed
him
about
that
Lot.
Lot was captured, even though he had bad intentions,
to go
but
after
still
Sarah.
he did something good. That's why when Moshe wanted to fight, Hashem told Moshe, "Don't be afraid." That means there's a reason that Moshe thought he should be afraid of him. What was the reason? He said, "Oh, he has a zechut." Actually, they say Abraham did Brit Milah on Lot, so he was so scared. He's like, oh, and Og. He was scared.
When did Abraham do Brit on Og?
They said
It's a midrash?
Midrash.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was scared. Oh, he has a zechut. No. Then Hashem said, "No, don't worry. He doesn't have that zechut anymore. Finished." Okay, so Og, Givul Og, Melech HaBashan, Miyeter HaRefaim. He was there, left over from the Rephaim. Where do we see Rephaim in last six parasha? This is Bereshit. Right? We just started Bereshit. It says Rephaim. What happened? In Bnei Melachim, the angels went with the human ladies. They gave birth to giants.
Nephilim.
The Nephilim, that's right. The angels that fell. Okay, so those are Rephaim. So one of them was Og, from the leftovers of the Rephaim, and the rest of them we had in a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago that we were learning that Yehoshuah killed the ones Rephaim that they were in Eretz Israel, the giants. Okay, so Og was from the leftovers of Rephaim. Hayoshev ba'ashtarot ube'edrei, that they were living in Ashtarot and Edrei. Umoshel behar Hermon. So this is the other one. Sichon was up to Har Hermon. This one, he had rulership over the Har Hermon. That's the one that the Jewish people, the IDF just captured, right? Har Hermon, but in Syria. Okay. Ubesachala ubechol Bashan, and Sachala and all the Bashan at Gebul Hageshuri Ma'achati, until the border of Geshur and Ma'achar. Vechatzi Hagilad, and the other half of Gilad belonged to Og. Remember, the first half belonged to Sichon, that the second half belonged to Og. So all those Bnei Israel captured from both of them. Gebul Sichon, Melech Cheshbon, until the border of the Sichon, which had the other half, king of Cheshbon. Moshe, Eved Hashem, Bnei Israel, Hikum. Okay, here it says Moshe and Bnei Israel, they killed them. Right? Veitanam Moshe, Eved Hashem, Yerusha LeRubenu Gadil, Chatzis Shevet Menashe. And Moshe gave them to Reuben and God and half of Shevet Menashe, which we had. They came and asked for these lands because they were very fertile and they had a lot of animals. So Moshe agreed to give it to them. At the beginning, he got very upset at them. He thought they just want to stay there. But once they agreed to come and fight, and just leave their children, wife and children there, Moshe agreed to give them the land. Very interesting that it says Moshe and Ben Israel, Hashem is giving all the credit to them. Right? Even though everything was miracle, it was Hashem took it from them. But Hashem sometimes does that. You shtadlut, Hashem makes it as if you did it, even though behind the scenes Hashem is doing it. That's the way of Hashem. Okay? Ve'ele malchei haaretz. These are the king of the land. Asher yikum Yehoshuah u'bnei Israel. That Yehoshuah and Bnei Israel hid them. Those are, we're going to mention all the 31 names. Be'ever ha'yarden. Yama miba'al Gad bebik'ad ha'lebanon ad ha'chalak ha'oleh se'ira. So in the west, from the plain of God in the valley of Lebanon until the smooth mountain that goes to Seir. That is giving you all the like a map of it. ויתנה יהושע לשבטי ישראל ירושה כמחלקותם. And Yehoshuah gave it to the שבטי Israel inheritance like their division, the way he divided it for them. בהר ובשפלה וערבה ואשדוד, in mountains, in a lowland, in the plain, in the valleys, and Ashdod are waterfalls, ובמדבר, and in the desert, בנגב, החיתי, המורי, הכנעני, הפריזי, היבוסי, החיבי והיבוסי. And all these, the land used to belong to all these nations. Okay? So now, very interesting that this comes as a shira. Right? You know that usually in the Tanakh, everything is written back to back, but sometimes we have shira, like as Yashir in the Torah Vilot. It's part this side, part that side. And we have that if you.
Is there a reason for it? Why they do
It's
it?
a shira. So there's a, as a there.
The king did.
Yeah. So here is also shira. Why? Because it's like Azashir or the other shirot that we have. Even in Megillah, if you look, you have the same thing. When mentioning the 10 names of the sons of Haman, the et is written on one side and the names on that side. It's like a shira. To show that, okay, we have to appreciate what Hashem did. Melech Yericho Echad. So now, the Mefarshim said, what is this Echad doing here? Echad is extra. All of them says, Hashem said Bet El Echad. So, one of the answers is that not only the king, also his right hand, his general, was with him, they killed him also. So that's what Echad comes to add. There are other hints to it. But
Plus one.
Yeah. I'm sure there's deeper things in it. Echad, you know, all things, all Echads. I'm sure it has Kabbalistic reasons too. Okay. Melech Yerushalayim Echad, Melech Chervon Echad, Melech Yarmot Echad, Melech Lachish Echad, Melech Eglon Echad, Melech Gezer Echad, Melech Devir Echad, Melech Geder Echad, Melech Herma Echad, Melech Arad Echad, Melech Libna Echad. These are all names of places. Melech Adulam Echad, Melech Magda Echad, Melech Bedel Echad, Melech Tapuach Echad, Melech Chefer Echad, Melech Afek Echad, Melech Lasharon Echad, Melech Madon Echad, Melech Chasor Echad, Melech Shimron Meoron Echad, Melech Achshab Echad, Melech Tanach Echad, Melech Megiddo Echad, Melech Keshed Echad, Melech Yagniel Karmel Echad, Melech Dor Lenafalat Dor Echad. Very interesting name. Dor Lenafalat Dor. Generation that falls fell to the generation.
What pasuk is that?
Chaf Gimel. Okay. Melech Goim LeGilgal Echad, Melech Tirsa Echad, Kol Malachim Sheleshim Ve'echad. So, Lenafel Dor, Lefilechei Dor. Okay, that she doesn't say much. The Mefarshim don't say much about it, but I'm sure there's a lot of, if you go look into it, there must be a lot of Kabbalistic things going on here. The Yehoshuah, okay, now we are up to Yud Gimel. This was all names, so went fast. Perek Yud Gimel, Yehoshuah Zaken Baba Yamim. Yehoshuah was old, Baba Yamim, right? Coming in the years. Where do we see this? Baba Yamim?
Yeah.
Abraham Zaken Baba Yamim.
Zaken Bayamim.
That's it. Baba Yamim
Bamikne
means
Bakesef Vazahav, is that pasuk?
yes.
Bamikne Bakesef Vazahav.
Yeah. Baba Yamim Haya Gadol B'Mikne. Yeah. So what is Baba Yamim? Over there about Abraham, what do we say? That every day of his life counted. And say Baba Yamim. And you cannot say, oh, today I didn't grow. Every day of your life you have to grow. Right? If you want one day you don't grow, that means you're falling. So Baba Yami means every day of your life is meaningful. You're doing something right greater than to grow, to get closer to Hashem. So it's a great thing that Hashem is saying this. Yehoshuah Zaken Baba Yami. Right? Okay, how old was Yehoshuah here? Yehoshuah, we know he died 110, yeah, right? He lived 110 years. 7 years of fighting, this is time of division now. Hashem is going to tell him to do division. So he has only 7 more years to live. So at this point he's 103 years old.
3 years old.
Yehoshuah Zaken Baba Yamim Vayomer Hashem Elav Ata Zakanta. You became old, right? Bata Bayamim.
You said right now he's how old? 100?
103. How do we know that? He lived 110 years.
110?
7 years of fighting, 7 years of division. So right now is the time of division. Hashem is telling him, start dividing the land. So it's only 7 years left to his life. Okay, so Hashem says you're getting very old. All this land is staying behind to be inherited. What are you doing? When you didn't divide it yet. Right? Hashem is pushing him. Go ahead. Divide the land. And now, for the few more parakim, and until 4, 5, 6 parakim, we're going to just do the borders and the lands and who gets what. So it's going to be a lot of just names and divisions. Okay. Zod Hares HaNisheret. This is the land that is Nisheret. This is left. That means part of the land was Yehoshuah already, the south that already captured he gave. The rest of it was still left. Kol Gelilot HaPelishtim Bechol HaGerushi. All the district of Pelishtim and Gerushi. Right? All this territory. Min HaShichor Asher Al Pnei Misraim. From Shichor, that is on the facing the Egypt, right, at the border of Egypt, at Gebul, Ekron, Safona, until Ekron going all the way to the north. Egypt is all the way to the south, all the way to the north. All these things, LeKenaani Techashe. That's called, that used to be called Kenaani, right, Kenaani territory. Chameshed Sarene Palestine, 5 governors of Palestine, Ha'azati v'Ashdodi v'Ashkeloni v'Giti v'Ekroni. These are all the names of the governors, right? Ashkeloni. V'Ha'ivim, and until Ha'ivim. Miteiman Kol Haaretz HaKenani. Taiman is also means south. From the south, all land of Kenani. Me'ara Asher Sidonim, and Me'ara that it belongs to Sidonim. Ad Afka, until Afka. These are all different towns. Hashem is giving him all the borders. Ad Gebul HaEmori, until you go to the border of Emori. Vares HaGibuli v'chol HaLebanon Mizracha, and the land of Gibuli and all the Lebanon going to Mizrach, to east, Mizrach HaShemesh, MiBa'al Gad Tachat Har Hermon, from Baal Gad until under the mountain of Hermon, Ad Lavo Hamat, until you get to Hamat. כל יושבי ההר מן הלבנון ועד משרפות מים, all the people who live in the har, in the mountain, from Lebanon until שרפות מים, כל סידונים, these are the name of the nations, סידונים, אנוכי אורישם, I'm going to capture them, מפני בני ישראל, I'm going to, drive them away from in front of בני ישראל. Apparently people still live there. Hashem is telling him, go ahead, just capture them, I'm going to drive them away. רק הפילה לישראל בנחלה אשר ציוויתך, and only just give them to Israel בנחלה, so for inheritance, כאשר ציוויתך, like I commanded you. Right? So hapila means here to give him the goral. Right? He peeled goral. Right? Goral is lottery. They used to draw lottery, put the names of the place in the box and the name of the Shabbatim in the box, another box. They would take. The leader of the Shevet would come, take a place, and take one of the one of the cards. Okay, we would say this part goes to the Shevet, and then they did that again. Another lottery for families, for groups, for each. They did a lot of this kind of lotteries to give to exactly who gets what. So that's why it says here hapilah. Give it with the goral. ועתה חלק את הארץ הזאת בנחלה לתשעת שבטים וחצי שבט המנשי. So now you have to give this land to 9 shevatim and half of shevet Menashe. What happened to the other two and a half? Those are the ones that on the other side of the Yarden. Reuben, Gad, and half of Menashe. Imo harubeni v'agadi lakhu nachalatam. Okay, with that, Reubeni and Gadi, the shevet of Reuben and shevet and Gad, they took their inheritance. Asher natan lahem Moshe be'ever Yarden mizracha. That Moshe gave them in the other side of the Yarden, where in Mizrach, in the east. Asher natan lahem Moshe ebed Hashem. Okay, that's his inheritance. The way that Moshe gave them, they could keep it. Okay, so here only mentions Reuben and Gadi, but also we know that was half of Menashe was with them also. Ma'aroer Sefad Nachal Arnon, from Aroer until the edge of the river of Arnon, V'ha'ir Asher B'toch HaNachal, and the town that was inside of the Nachal, B'chol HaMishor, on all the plain, Mideba ad Dibon, from the Ad Dibon, B'chol Arei Sichon Melech HaEmori, Asher Malach B'cheshbon, Ad Gebul B'nei Ammon. Okay, all the towns of Sichon, king of Emori, right? Sichon, king of Emori, that until border of Bnei Ammon, those are the borders that we just mentioned that we said Moshe took. Now he's telling us he gave them to Reubeni and Gadi. Gilad ugebul hagirushi, and Gilad and the border of Gerushi hamachati v'chol har Hermon v'chol habashan at Sachla. Okay, all these are all names. V'chol mamlechot Og b'Bashan, and all the kingdom of Og b'Bashan, Asher malach b'Ashterod u'b'Adrei, and that he king in Ashterod and Adrei. Hu nish'al miyeter Arafaim ve'ekem Moshe ve'Yerishem. He was one of the leftovers of the giants, right? And Moshe hid him and captured them. And we know the famous midrash that Moshe, he was so big that Moshe had to jump. Moshe was 10 amma, he says, he jumped another 10 amma, and he had this stick, he hit him, and he only got his ankle.
Ooh.
So at that point, Og was holding a mountain on his hand to throw on the Ben Israel. Right? And had Midrash says that Hashem sent ants to make a hole in the mountain. Right? And when once Moshe hit his feet, his hand became weak, he fell, the stone fell on his head. The hole. His head went inside the hole.
There was.
Og.
How did you do Brit Milah?
That's why I say only Abraham could do such a thing. Okay, and then he wanted to pull it out. He says the Midrash says that they actually it came also in the Gemara that his teeth grow. The Shinesh Tirashem Shibata, the Gemara says Al Tegreshanata Shibashta became big, so got stuck. His teeth grew and got stuck to the stone, so he couldn't pull it out. That's when he fell and they killed him. Okay, that's the story of Og. ויקם משה וירשם, אוקיי? ולא הורישו בני ישראל את הגירושי ואת המערכי. בני ישראל did not draw away these nations of גירושי and מערכי, וישב גירושי ומערכות בקרב ישראל עד היום הזה. These are the two nations that they stayed in until היום הזה, until this book was written. So that means what they were supposed to do, they didn't do. They were supposed to kill all of them. They didn't. רק לשבט הלוי לא נתן נחלה. Only to שבט לוי, Moshe didn't give any inheritance. Shevet Levi, we know that Hashem said, do not give them anything, only the 48 towns, which 6 of them are a miklat, right? That's all they get. Nothing, no land to plant. Hashem didn't want them to have any headaches. To do only Avodat HaKodesh, to be in Beit HaMikdash and teach people. So that's they count this as one of the misvot. Rambam count this as one of the misvot, not to give land to Levi. Right? Ishei Hashem Elokei Yisrael hu nachalato. The sacrifices of Hashem Elokei Yisrael, this is not their inheritance. They get part of that. Kasher diber lo, like Hashem told them. ויתן משה למטה בני ראובן למשפחותם. Moshe gave to Shevet of בני ראובן and to their families. ויהי להם הגבול מהערוער עד שפת נחל ארנון והעיר אשר בתוך הנחל. So they had this towns from Aroer until the edge of Nachal Arnon and all the towns that was in that valley. וכל המישור and all the plain. עד מדבר, until מדבר. חשבון וכל עריה אשר במישור. Also he gave them חשבון and all the towns that are in that plain. דיבון ובמות בעל ובית בעל מעון. These are all names. והיהץ וקדמון ומאפה. Numafat. Again, more names. We're going to go through all these names quickly. V'Kiryatayim, v'Shivta, v'Sered, v'Hashachar, v'Har Amalek. In the mountain of Amalek, these are all the names. Ubet Peor, v'Ashdod HaPiska, Ubet HaYeshimot. These are again names. V'Chol Arei HaMishor, v'Chol Mamlechot, and all the towns of the valley and all v'chol mamlechet Sichon melech ha'Amori and all the kingdom of the Sichon melech ha'Amori asher malach b'cheshbon, that he ruled in Cheshbon, asher hika Moshe oto ve'ed nasei Midian, and that Moshe killed him and the leaders of Midian, את אבי ואת רקם ואת סור ואת חור ואת רבע ונכסי סיחון יושבי הארץ. These are all the name of the leaders that Moshe killed, and Moshe and Ben Israel, right? That they used to live in the land. ואת בלעם בן באור.
All of these went to Reuben?
Yes.
By lottery, yeah? It was by lottery or he gave it?
When Moshe gave them, yeah, I think Moshe did with lottery too.
By lottery.
Because it says that Yehoshuah copied Moshe, so must be, even though over there doesn't say, but when it says about Yehoshuah, Yehoshuah did, and it says he copied Moshe. Yeah, Moshe gave it to them. This was before even they crossed the river. So even though it comes here, but this was already before the crossing. And look at this one. Ed Bil'am ben Be'or HaKosem. Kosem means what? Magician. That's the famous Bil'am, right, that wanted to curse Ben Israel. Right? He doesn't call him Navi, he calls him what? Magician. So Rambam talks about this. He says what? He was really a magician. Only for a short period, Hashem talked to him because of Bnei Israel, and also he didn't want to go him to say, oh, we don't have Nabi. But after that, again, Hashem never talked to him anymore. He went back to his magician. He was really a sorcerer, a Kosem. That's why he died, while he was a sorcerer, not as a Nabi. הרגו בני ישראל בחרב את חלליהם. So Bnei Israel killed him with the sword. They killed him, and I think Gemara says he got all the Arba Mitot because he was flying with the magic, and Pinchas showed him Shema Forosh, he fell down, so that's Zekila, and they killed him. He got all the basically Arba Mitot. Somehow he got it. Okay. Gebul Bnei Reuben. So the border of Bnei Reuben was Hayarden, Ugebul Zod Nachalat Bnei Reuben, Lemishpachatam Ha'arim Vechasrehem. So this was the Yarden, was Gebul, the border of Bnei Reuben, and this is Nachalat, the inheritance of Reuben, Lemishpachatam Ha'arim Vechasrehem, the towns and the villages. Okay, so here it says what?
Yarden is
Jordan River. Jordan River, it says what? It's what? It's a Givul. So we see there's a machloket. What about inside the Yarden itself? Is it considered Kedusha Eretz Yisrael or no? Let's say something grow inside. You have to give him Maaser or no, right? But I heard there is a Yerushalmi that says that the whole Yarden is this pasuk. They call this pasuk as Yarden is a Gevul. Let's say if the water grows and becomes wider, takes away from the Goy side, that becomes part of Eretz. Whatever it takes, it takes. Right?
The river is part of Israel. The whole river is part of Israel.
Yeah, that's the opinion that the river is part of Eretz. It's a Gebul Yarden. So that's your border. Now the river becomes wider, so Eretz became wider. ויתן משה למטה גד לבני גד למשפחותם ויהי להם הגבול. Now we're going to go, that was Reuben. Now we're going to go to Gad, but Gad God. ויהי להם הגבול יעזר וכל ערי הגלעד. Ya'azir and all the towns of Gilad, Chasi, Eretz Bnei Ammon, and half of the land of Bnei Ammon. Right? Even though we said the Bnei Israel could not touch Bnei Ammon, so how did they get half of the land? Because already Sichon took it from them. And now the Bnei Israel went and took it from Sichon. So it was already kosher. Ad Aror, אשר על פני רבה ומחשבון עד רמת המספה, these are all names, ובוטנים ומחנאים עד גבול לדביר, until the border of דביר, ובעמק בית הרם ובית נמרה, and in the valley he gave them the places that called Ben Haram and Ben Nimra, Vesukot, and town that called Sukkot. I wonder if this is the same town that Jacob called Sukkot. Remember, he made a Sukkot for his sheep, and he called the town Sukkot. Might be that one, I don't know. Vesafon Yeter Mamlechet Sichon, and the north leftover part of Mamlechet Sichon, Melech Heshbon, Hayarden or Gibul. Okay, again it says Yarden and the border, at Kesei Yam Kinneret, until the edge of the Yam Kinneret, Ever Hayarden, on the other side of the Yarden, Mizracha. Zod Nachalad Negad, Lemishbachadam, Arim Vechasreim. The towns and the villages, these are the inheritance of Gad. Okay. ויתן משה לחצי שבט מנשה, now we go to half of שבט מנשה. ויהי לחצי המטה בני מנשה למשפחותם, this what they got, ויהי גבולם ממחניים עד ממחניים כל הבשן וכל ממלכות אוג מלך הבשן. So from Machanaim and all the Bashan, all the kingdom of the Og Melech HaBashan, the whole Chabot Yair. I remember Bnei Menashe went and got Chabot Yair. Asher BeBashan, Shishim Ir, 60 towns. V'chasei Gilad, Ashtorot Adrei, these are all the towns of Bashan. Arei Mamlechet Og BeBashan, לבני מחיר בן מנשה, לחצי בני מחיר למשפחותם. So to give to sons of Machir ben Menashe, to half of Bnei Machir and their families. אלה אשר נחל משה בערבות מואב מעבר לירדן, יריחו מזרחה. These are the things that Moshe gave them to Bnei Israel on the other side of Yarden, the east side of Yarden. ולשבט הלוי לא נתן משה נחלה. Again, it mentions that Moshe kept the law. שבט לוי, he didn't give them anything. השם אלוקי ישראל הוא נחלתם. Hashem is their inheritance, כאשר דיבר להם. Like Hashem said. So this is the end of Perek Yud Gimel. So we stop here.